Joining us now here in studio is Texas Republican Representative Pete Sessions. Thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate it. As we just mentioned there, of course, House Oversight Committee, which you sit on, actually met with some of those Epstein victims today. Give us your response to what Chairman Comer has released. Enough number of people, Democrats are saying 97% of this had already been released. Do you feel like this is enough?
Well, you've got to remember, Lindsey, that we're attempting to do this in a bipartisan fashion. And there are a lot of forces that simply want to blame Republicans for us doing what we're doing in a methodical way. I will tell you that doing it in an investigative procedure way means that we will do this, Republicans and Democrats together. But it does not mean that you just go release all the information. I could give lots of examples about some things that might be frailties, but if you look at the documents, some of them speculate, some of them provide information, and what people want is an answer. They want what comes from an investigation. They want us to be able to say with great certainty that here is what we saw and here is why there was a delay in getting them out. I think that that's one of the biggest questions, and it is not going to go away. It is not going to be swept up the rug. We're not going to run out of time. We've got lots of time to do this. So I think doing it correctly beats doing it. So it is, a lot of the documents have been leaked. They are out there, but not enough for us to draw a conclusion. There's no reason anybody in Congress would try and hide this or try and protect anyone.
Based on what was released today, is there anything new that has been released to the public?
I think that you can tell it's still a very emotional issue, and I think we can all understand that the bulk of the evidence is not out, the bulk of the information. But what we need to do is to continue to put these in context and listening to people who were highly involved in this. It is emotional. It's part of the process of doing this. The main point that I'd like to make to either of these two young men that are trying to push this issue is that if we continue to work together, we will make the progress. We're not trying to hide this, and I will be a person that will tell you I want the answers also. And that is because my wife and almost every woman I know in Waco, Texas has approached me, including my staff, has said, we expect you to get to the bottom of this. So I can look you right in the eye and say, it's going to take a little bit of time on a Republican and Democrat working together perspective.
So you feel that the documents will be released in their entirety, it's just not all at once, it's going to be in a timely fashion?
I think it will be more, yes, I would say entirety, but I don't know whether that means in your mind or mine videos. I don't know that we're going to be releasing videos. I don't know that that's appropriate. I think it's probably not. But enough to where I can draw conclusions where we can answer virtually any question and say yes or no to a question that you, who has a right to know, as well as people back home, then I can answer those questions.
Okay, let's switch gears now, talk about the National Guard. Of course, we've seen the president bring the National Guard into this city, which we're in right now, Washington, D.C., also L.A. Today, he talked about he is planning on going into Chicago. Of course, the governor of Illinois, J.B. Pritzker, says he does not want it. Do you feel that it's lawful for the President of the United States to bring the National Guard into states where normally that is something that would be decided by the governor?
I would say my thinking is that going to somewhere where someone does not want you is very difficult. It is very difficult to want to have the federal marshals entirely different. But if you've got the National Guard there, which are there to protect law enforcement officers, I think it's a real push. Now, with this said, I think Washington, D.C. has seen very positive results. They have allowed criminals to be put on notice. The National Guard's not there to do anything except to ensure that what happens is done properly and the police are doing the work. So I think positive things could be seen by people, and I think there could be a light in that tunnel to say police come. They had some 80 shootings this weekend. It is obvious that Chicago has a problem. And what happens is that in this political
Their
dialogue,
numbers are down, though. There has been a drop.
we would be the first to say you're right. But if you look at the numbers, this is the quadrant that the president wants to be in also, because the president wants to be able to prove everybody is entitled to a safe neighborhood and the safety by government.
At this point, I just want to ask, even though this hasn't been on the table at all, if the president were to say, we're going to bring the National Guard into cities in Texas, right into your home territory, would you be okay with that?
You know, the answer would be yes. If I saw a need, I would want it. The governor does not see the need, but we have seen the stories and the pictures of too much carnage that is in Chicago, and so why would someone want that broken system still on them? I think that there will be positive things that will be seen that happen in Washington, D.C., to where public demand would say, yes, we would like this.
I do want to get to the budget. We understand that the Jeffries and Johnson did speak today. If you have a crystal ball, you think we're going to be able to get this over the finish line?
Well, I think that the demand curve is not as great because the president, because Republicans control this. But I think that we are going to get it done. I don't ever see a government shutdown. That would be foolish on our part. But the timing is important to fund the government properly, to make decisions. We're back. Members of Congress can do this. I think the Senate's up to it, and the president should want to get on with the rest of the things that need to be done, and that is called running the government.
Congressman Sessions, so appreciate your time. Thank you very much for joining us.